And thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We're set to preview this big Albion Park meeting on Saturday night. More feature racing coming through as well. The Changeover Classic, the first juvenile feature of the new year. And we've also got that Group 2 APG Consolation for the 4-year-old. So a couple of highlights for this weekend. The free-for-all, yet again, it's going to be a ripper. A good clash here between Northview Hustler and Turn It Up. In this week's episode, I'm going to speak with Brendan Barnes and Angus Garrard. Brendan Barnes now joins us to go through his book of drives on Saturday night, and as per normal, there's quite a few to get through. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Mows him down, race 1, number 7. He was able to get the job done last week. You gave him a perfect trip, and he was able to get up and go late. But this week, it's a tough draw.
Yeah, very tough draw. Obviously, his last 2 runs, he's been sort of in front and behind the leader, and yeah, we look a long way from having that luxury this week, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Early thoughts? Do you look like rolling forward and trying to get as handy as possible, or grabbing up and going back?
There looks to be a bit of speed on paper, but we'll sort of just have to sort of judge it early and sort of see how it pans out. He's not really super comfortable coming wide, so yeah, just got to play it by ear and see how it's looking.
Okay, but he is going well though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going well.
Okay, that does look a fairly open race, that first event. Race number 3, I'm Jimmy James. He draws the inside of the second row. I'm curious here, and I'm keen to get your thoughts. It looks really open, this event.
Yeah, it does look really open, and sort of it's probably hard to pick an early leader too, but you know, that's a good draw for him, and if he can get a slice of luck, he'll make the most of it.
Have you looked into the form of the Sydney sider? Give Me a Minute coming up for Aaron Goadsby. The number form looks okay. Have you got any sort of read on this horse?
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the numbers. I haven't really dove into any replays or so yet. We'll sort of do that as we get a little bit closer.
Do you think there's any chance that Falcons can hold up, or do you think you might be 3 fence here?
Yeah, there's probably a slight chance that could happen. Sort of, as I said, it doesn't really look like there's a noted leader definitely sort of there on the front row, but yeah, there could be a few keen to have a look, and yeah, hopefully we can get a nice little trail. Has
this horse been a surprise packet for the stable? The way he's taken to Albion Park Racing, his record there is terrific. So has he surprised anyone?
Yes and no. Like his first few runs when he come sort of racing at Redcliffe were sort of sensational. He was running his last quarter in sort of 27.5 a couple of times, and it didn't matter where he was on the track. He was just sort of too fast for him, and then he probably just plateaued out a little bit, and then since then he's had a little bit of a freshen up, and he's appreciated the bit cooler weather, and yeah, he's just thriving at the moment. Okay,
so he's a chance there. He just needs that little bit of luck from the draw. Race 4, this is the open class race. Deus Ex backing up, so he's obviously bounced out of that really tough trip last week, because far from ideal, being parked out a new track record time of 1:50.
Yeah, I had to feel sorry for the big fella there, but his work was really good during the week, and obviously the draw's not kind again, but we all know that he's a smart animal.
Now the obvious question, can he get across here from the top of the track?
I don't think we'll probably worry about it this week. There's a little bit of speed underneath us. Had that hard run last week. Sort of steps up to 2100 this week. We'll probably just go back and wait for a kind of draw. Okay,
so the smaller field suits him in that regard. So if you go back, you'll try and just follow Turn It Up as much as you can?
Yeah, that's right. And he's pretty... We've never really had a chance to bring him wide. And I think every time we've driven him from behind, he's been sort of on the fence and sort of only really been held up till late. And I think he'll be a better horse from behind, sort of if he can sort of trail up a helmet and sort of be out clear running for a bit longer. Okay, there have been terrific races over the past couple of weeks, these free-for-alls, and this race on Saturday night will be no different. Northview Hustler and Turn It Up. They looked at the main players here. Northview Hustler backing up from last week. He was second behind Black Sedans. Turn It Up is the fresh horse here. I think last time they met, Turn It Up was able to get Northview Hustler. How do you think this race will play out on the weekend? I think if Northview Hustler has the speed to lead early, he'll be mighty hard to catch, but obviously Turn It Up's been going super driven with the city's last few, and if he's close enough, he's going to be very hard to beat.
And that's going to be important to the outcome of this race. If whoever leads, Tommy Lincoln, if they decide to hold up, or if Northview Hustler gets over, there doesn't look to be a great deal of mid-race pressure at the 2138 metres.
No, there doesn't. And a horse like Northview Hustler, if he's in front and sort of left alone, he can sort of run some pretty serious splits late and make it hard to get round him.
Okay, well, that's a good free-for-all again here on Saturday night. Let's go to race 6, one of our features, the Changeover 2-year-old Classic. Kabang's on the backup. He raced last week in the Group 2 APG Gold Bullion. He was terrific last week.
Yeah, he was. He's just got a few tractability issues, but he's going to be a very lovely 3-year-old, that's for sure.
Is it more the start of his races? Is it the corners? Where is it that just makes it difficult for him right now?
Well, it's more a fact you can't touch his mouth or sort of ask him to do anything. He's just got to sort of be allowed to do whatever he wants. And we thought we had him down pat, just sort of letting him just float about and sort of be where he wants to be and not letting him get hard up on a helmet. And that sort of threw our theory out the window last week when he sort of got a bit rough turning into the back. But I'm sort of also not sure if that was, he's never also been a 27.5 quarter, so whether he just wasn't used to going quite that quick. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
Last quarter in that race last week wasn't anything flash, but if there's another 100 metres in that race, does he get past My Alderman Jacko?
If there's another 20 metres, he gets past.
He was coming quickly, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was for sure.
Does he just have 3-year-old written all over him?
Yeah, he does. He's big and he's fine and he's sort of quite dumb. So yeah, he's got a lot to learn, a lot of growing to do.
Yeah, it's not a bad race this though. There's a few here and it's hard to line them up because a lot of the times they're meeting for the first time here on Saturday night. But there's a bit of talent there.
Yeah, there is for sure. And that's probably the one place we didn't want to draw, even though it probably looks the perfect draw on paper. But sort of as we said, you can't really ask him to do too much and you can't really want him to get hard up on a helmet. So it's sort of just, it's more of a case of driving him more than the race and sort of just, yeah, keeping him comfortable.
Okay, understood. Race number 8, Bonnie's a rockin'. She lands the inside gate. It's only a mile. That's probably music to your ears.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, sort of the extra prize money for that mare's quality has sort of brought a couple of stronger ones to it. But from the inside gate, hopefully she can, yeah, she's got the gate speed to keep herself handy. And if she can sneak into a bit of top 4 money, that'd be great. Yeah,
it's a good point you raise with that extra prize money. There is a bit of depth in this mare's race on the weekend. Platinum Revolution up from Sydney, Talent to Spare, Girls Are Best coming up from Sydney, so there are a few sharp types here.
Yeah, for sure. And she sort of, yeah, she's got good gate speed and she can do a bit of work or she can follow speed. So, yeah, hopefully we can just be somewhere up on the speed and if we can run top 4, we'll be wrapped.
All right, race 9, Sam is Perfection. He's got gate 10 outside of the second row over the mile, but this race looks like it's going to generate good pressure.
Yeah, it does. There's plenty of speed off the front and he's sort of, yeah, barrier doesn't really matter too much for him. He's only got to be driven the one way anyway, but he rarely runs a bad race.
Yeah, his last couple have been really good, and the sectionals back that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, that's Sam is Perfection. Your final drive is the final race, race number 11. Tam O'Shanter, he is just out of luck at the moment. Things just can't get any worse for him, but can he turn it around on Saturday night?
Well, we know he's good enough too. Obviously, last week he didn't trot the smoothest. He had to sort of go wide a bit earlier than we would have liked to, and he was just a bit tired around the last corner and just got a little bit rough and wanted to hang a bit. And then the start before, I thought he was just all over a winner. He was absolutely bolting and yeah, we were shattered for him when he sort of got that check at the top of the straight there. But yeah, he's got the speed and he's got the ability. If things go right for him and he trots well, he's definitely good enough.
Okay, he's the only horse off 10 metres. So, in essence, you're drawn to follow out Stress Factor, who won last week. So, is that a possible plan, just to try and follow through and hold the back of Stress Factor?
Yeah, well, we just keep him out wide on his own. He seems to be happy. He gets a little bit sort of upset if say, he sort of steps and they start swamping him sort of inside and outside. That's when he seems to get a little bit rough after the start. So, yeah, we just keep him on his own. And he hasn't been stepping lately quite as quick as he was when he was winning them few. He was sort of hitting his straps and sort of getting off and gone. But, yeah, hopefully he can find his rhythm and be handy enough.
Okay, so it's another solid book for you on Saturday night. Interesting question here. Which one are you looking forward to most?
Without there really being a standout, I'd probably say the best hope's I'm Jimmy James. I think if he gets a slice of luck, he'll make the most of it.
Okay, race 3, number 8, I'm Jimmy James. Brendan, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Young gun Angus Garrard jumps in the hot seat to go through his book of drives, and he's with us now. Angus, appreciate the time.
No worries, thanks for having me, Chris.
Hey, congratulations firstly. Group 2 success last week with Cat King Cole, a good one to get.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It was a really good thrill.
Hopefully there's more to come with the carnival just around the corner with that filly as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed, you know. I think she'll step up to the plate.
All right, let's go through the book of drives for Saturday night. 11 races in total. Your first drive comes up in race 3 for your dad, Jillaby Jackpot. He's going well. He was 7th last time out. How did you assess that performance?
Yeah, I thought he was really good last time out, Chris. We were really happy with his run. You know, he was tracking up 3 wide there down the back, and it was a fast back straight quarter, and he actually made a bit of ground that last quarter too. So his back half was sort of sub 56, and his last quarter was the fastest of the race. So we were really happy with his run.
Okay, so he's going well. Looking at this field, It looks really open. There's no standout here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I think it's sort of going to come down to whoever gets the best run, and hopefully we can be that one.
The query horse is number 3, Give Me a Minute, coming up from New South Wales for trainer Aaron Goadsby. Have you delved into the form lines of Give Me a Minute yet?
Look, I haven't had a really close look yet, but, you know, they sort of, those southern horses that come up here, you know, they tend to do a good job.
Okay. Now, looking at this field and with your barrier draw, 2 off the second row, you've got options here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's probably looking for a soft trip in this grade, Chris. We think he's probably the sort of horse that can sort of poke around with soft runs, and hopefully he can sort of pick up some money more often than not, and when he does get that right trip, he'll sort of be there to take it.
So is going to the pegs an early option?
Yeah, it certainly is. If it sort of looks that way leaving the gate, that's where we'll be.
Okay, so he just needs that little bit of luck, and he's going to knock off one of these type of races.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Race number 4, this is the Open. Again, it promises to be a good race. He's on the backup, Tommy Lincoln, coming out of last week's race where they set that new track record, 150 flat. What did you make of Tommy Lincoln last week?
Yeah, I was really impressed with his run, Chris. It was just a bad drive, sort of tipping and rolling when I did, but it was certainly improved on his previous performances.
Geez, you're a bit harsh. Was it a case that maybe you just thought that, you know, that was the time to go? Did you think Black Sedance was just under a little bit of pressure there?
Yeah, I don't know whether Black Sedance sort of hung a little bit at a certain point, and he sort of just felt like he came back into my lap for a couple of strides there. And I sort of didn't want to lose too much going so fast, but as it turned out, you know, I should have just followed around and we'd probably pick up third money.
Did it feel like you were going track record speed last week?
Yeah, we were certainly humming along.
Okay. Now, as we know, Tommy Lincoln's got a really good gate speed. What are the early thoughts here? Do you think you want to hold up over the 2,138 metres? Are you looking for cover?
Yeah, look, I think if we can hold, we'll be holding. He has sort of got really good form when he's at Albion Park overall. You know, he just sort of went off a little bit there before last week, but we sort of thought we figured out what the issue was and changed a little bit leading into last week, and he was certainly a lot better. So, I mean, we think we're back on the right track, and hopefully we can hold up and give him something to chase here.
Who's the horse you're worried about at the start? Is it Deus Ex out in 7?
Yeah, probably. I think we can hold Northview Hustler sort of comfortable enough from side by side, but, you know, Deus Ex, if they want to light up, he's sort of going to get the run off from the outside. So hopefully we can sort of be quick enough from the 21, and if we hold up, I think he'll take a bit of beating.
Okay, well, that's Tommy Lincoln, race number 4. Let's go across to race 6, one of our features on Saturday night. First juvenile feature of the season, the Changeover Classic. You've got a tough gate with Craddock, and it looks a fairly strong race, this one this year. This depth is quite strong right now. How do you assess the chances of Craddock?
Yeah, you know, it's a fairly open race, but I do like this horse, Chris. I think Graham's got a fair opinion of him, and from what I heard, Brendan has been pretty impressed with him so far. So hopefully he can sort of be in the mix. It is open, and if a few things go our way, I think he can be close.
Okay, there are a few in here that look like they've got really sharp ability, though.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Craddock was he wasn't far off him at his first start, and you know, they did go 56 in that race, and, you know, there was a few that are lining up Saturday night that were there as well.
Yep, absolutely. Well, he's one worth following anyway, that's for sure, Craddock. Race number 7, She's Notorious. Another bad draw here for you on Saturday night. The outside of the second row, over the mile. It's not easy.
Yeah, that's right. It is tricky. It's sort of hard to make ground at any sort of race at Albion from back in the field and having to come wide. So hopefully we can sort of find a cheap run somewhere, and hopefully we can get over the top with a bit of pressure.
And like that previous race, there's a few in here that can get up and go a bit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for She's Notorious, race 7. Race number 8 for the mares here over the mile, Ashley Nitro. She finally comes up with a nice draw here. She should be able to settle fairly handy. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, that's right. She sort of hasn't had a good draw for a while, so hopefully we can sort of stay handy enough to the speed and she can be close enough to pounce.
Sectionally, she's been pretty consistent over the past 5 or 6 runs. She always puts in every time she steps out.
Yeah, that's right. She has been racing good, and as you said, she's ever consistent. You know, she's always around the money, and hopefully she just needs that little slice of luck, and hopefully she can finish over the top.
given that the extra prize money's on top of this race. There's a few talented types. So although she's got the good draw, it's not going to be easy though, is it?
No, there's no such thing as easy nowadays, Chris.
That's for sure and certain. The other feature on Saturday night is race 10. This is a Group 2 race, and it's the APG Consolation for the 4-year-olds, Montana Flash. Third first up, chasing home Love Your Work. Can he improve off that run?
Yeah, for sure. I was really happy with his run first up. You know, he hadn't raced in a long time before that, and he had just had the one trial, and everything didn't sort of go to plan there. So I thought his run was really good. You know, they rated fast time, and you know the margin might have been big, but I'm sure he can claw that back this week.
Is Love Your Work the horse to beat?
Yeah, for sure. On his run in the heat, you know, he's going to be hard to beat. But I mean, if we had drawn better, I'd say we were sort of give ourselves a fair chance of turning him over. But you know, it's hard from the wide draw.
Okay, a couple of good drives there on Saturday night. Which one stands out for you at this point?
I think Tommy Lincoln, he comes up with a good draw, and hopefully we can capitalise on that.
Okay, race 4, number 1, Tommy Lincoln. Angus, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
Again, a big thanks to both Brendan Barnes and Angus Garrard giving up their time and insights ahead of this weekend's Saturday night program at Albion Park. 11 races. Time now for a good gamble. I think we come up with one at value this weekend, and we go early. Race 1, number 2, Bo Chisholm. This guy's numerical form doesn't read all that flash, 9-8-8, but he's going extra well, and he finally comes up with a good draw. I think he's going to go off at good odds here, and he's worth an each-way ticket. Race 1, number 2, Bo Chisholm. That's our value play this weekend. Remember, if you are gambling, just bet with your head, don't go over the top, know when to stop, and we'll see you trackside there. 11 races Saturday night at Albion Park.